Hello, boy. We're back. We're back with live fights. At least
we did it
on Saturday. Supposedly, we're doing a
What's
live
happening
to talk about it. How exciting is this? I don't know if we've done a live breakdown show, but we're here and we got a full house. I feel like it's the Brady Bunch. Wow, I don't know where to even start. I guess we'll start with Lance. I mean, he's back. He's doing Wes's thing, doing the backwards hat.
age before beauty.
I'm trying to be a kid again. Like, you can still tell I'm bald, but maybe I'll go like this. And I look like a kid. You're
just reliving your youth.
Yeah, I was telling the guys earlier, this shirt is from when I was 18 years old. So haven't changed.
Very loose on him, so as you can tell, he's definitely lost a little muscle in his chest.
Used to have a little bit more muscle. Less weight, more muscle.
Or he's so small that the smallest size is still big. Yeah.
What flavor?
Nice product.
I'm to the end of the box, so I'm down to the lime and the black cherry. Not a good night. And I drank all my good scotch, so now I'm drinking Claw. Nashville.
Just trying to feel like a fucking 20-year-old.
Partway through to grab myself.
We may as well go to the other man in a hat. He's wearing it forwards. He's like Kurt Busch's other guy, but he says it's something else. It's Bluegrass.
Is this podcast sponsored by Monster Energy now?
I don't know. It's a bottle of the skinny cans. We don't know who's gonna.
We're more White Claw around here. More White Claw than Monster.
I don't think I've ever had an energy drink. Why drink an energy drink when they sell coffee?
You've never had Red Bull ever in your life?
I used to drink both. I used to drink about 2 cups in the morning, and I'd have about 3 Monsters during the day. I had to quit.
Bad for your stomach, Wes.
Yeah, very, very bad.
Yeah. I've had like back in college, like Jaeger bombs and stuff like that, I guess, but I've never like drank an energy drink.
Yeah, I don't know if I would really drink it.
Monsters are delicious, man. They actually, I drank them both.
Oh.
I am too. I do them both.
He hates his heart.
Yeah, I'm like a three large cups of black coffee kind of guy.
I don't do anything. I go rogue.
I gotta stop the wife and shit. Like her birthday and shit like that. She literally just gets hundreds of dollars in fucking Starbucks gift cards and shit. I gotta stop her, dude. It's ridiculous. It's almost like a crack habit.
I guess she likes coffee. Yeah. Moving up to the northern part of the world, let's start with Ontario's most wanted man. I heard he touching on rat shit tonight. Wow,
he was skateboarding down the.
Is this a Uriah Hall reference?
It is most definitely.
I know it is, but I want to know if you knew what it was.
The best bet ever won. That's the best bet that's ever been won in the history of
Brad on the show that night? I know Lance and I were, but I don't know if Brad was on.
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
that's why we had Sean on the show.
I should dig up
I
should dig up that episode and then the following week's episode.
Yeah, so
those
good.
are some good clips.
And the best part about it, the bet wasn't that Uriah Hall as like a 3-1 dog was going to beat Mousasi. The bet was that Uriah Hall had to win by spinning back kick. If it wasn't spinning back kick, I lost the bet. And he knocked him. It was the greatest. Like, I have no words. Like, that was probably one of my favorite moments ever was when that happened. Because it was like, I couldn't stop laughing, and I won a bunch of money, and then I was laughing at Sean for like 3 weeks. It was good.
Good old baby dick.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. It was like years. Motherfuckers were coming to deal with that.
Every time Uriah Hall would fight or fucking Mousasi would fight, it'd get brought up.
God, he fucking hit him with a spinning back kick. Knocked him out.
God. So that's what I'm up to. I've been looking like a homeless dude.
You do look a bit homeless. See, everyone always makes fun of bald people, but who's laughing now? Look at this. Same as always.
Yeah, but Lance, you could just do what I do, man.
No, I would get fired.
You ought to do like one of those old samurai cuts and just grow out the wraparound, put it in a ponytail and shit. You know, almost look like some kind of 70s
video. That is, Sean. Jeez, that's just getting ridiculous at this point.
It is.
Dude could play the Unabomber right now. Like Like straight up.
I
They look like they just
pretty
drug him out of a cabin.
I had a pretty sweet horseshoe mustache going on, but then I had to join a video call and it got ruined, and I got sad.
Always got that work getting in the way of
I
having a
know.
good time with your fucking
Facial
pedo
hair,
stash.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
well,
blinding people by the day.
I went mustache, and then I went with a couple weeks later the horseshoe, and it was a good look.
Oh yes.
That's nice.
I think I saw a picture or two.
Did I post it?
I think so.
I don't think so. I thought I only posted the mustache.
Oh, you think you just did? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not. We didn't get the
this was-
full.
This was better.
Hey, what are we here to talk about?
UFC
my facial hair.
249 live fights. We made it. We made it through all those rewatches. We'll see how long this lasts, I guess, but at least we made it through.
It
gonna be
seems like
fights
it's going to
forever.
happen.
We're gonna get three cards in a week.
It's awesome.
I don't know. I don't
I
know
don't
what
care.
we'll do
Definitely
next
got
week.
one.
I think we get this week, but going forward, I'm still not convinced, man. Because
No, we're straight.
I think we're good
Yeah.
just because of as long as the ones in Jacksonville anyway, we're good for that.
yeah,
When they start
this
doing
week,
somewhere else, it might be a different story.
Well, they're going from Jacksonville to the Nevada shit. So,
but
the
they're still not cleared there, so we don't
they'll
even.
just pay him off. Not a big deal.
We'll see.
That's
We'll
filthy
see.
Lance.
Dude, how sweet is that? You guys see that?
Yeah.
Keep that man away from
Dirty.
the playgrounds. Keep him away from the playgrounds, dog.
I was going to say, no wonder they closed the playgrounds. Was
Yeah.
it disease?
Well, I woke up from it and I got a text from my boss. It was like, hey, can you cover on a call with me this morning with a potential client? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, when is it? And he was like, 15 minutes. And they're European. They're all buttoned up. I had to run in my bathroom, shave it off, put a dress shirt on, and jump on camera from out of bed.
Jesus Christ.
I need about 9 minutes usually.
Jay's got it
Basically, jump in
fucking
the
down.
shower, comb my hair, and that's it. I get about 9 minutes. Shirt on.
Efficiency.
I can do a good 15 seconds.
You realize, yeah, you figure it out quick how much time you need.
Yeah, 15
I'll
seconds.
come on next week and I'll like blow dry my hair like it looks like Jay does to himself.
That's
Mhm.
nice.
All right. So
So what do we want to talk about this week? Outside of what we're going to talk about. Anything exciting?
What's this? Like, I've heard a lot about Luke Thomas, but I'm blocked by him.
same.
But I'm kind of curious, but I also don't really give a fuck.
Should I look?
I don't. It's
mean,
just
he
like
would
apparently
always-
he's been complaining and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, weird.
No, I'll take a look. I'm going to see if I see
No,
it.
this
I'm not-
latest
I'm-
one he's cool with.
No, he's not. He's never.
Yes, well, he said it's a lot safer than what it was going to be last time because they actually have
Yeah,
testing.
Oh, is this about
They actually put out-
testing and whatnot?
Well, they actually put out guidelines and testing, proper testing and shit like that.
Yeah, they got their shit in order.
Yeah, I'm not a big Luke Thomas fan at all, but he was right. I mean, people were like blaming him for not
Usually
having
is.
UFC. Like he didn't shut down the UFC. Goddamn Disney shut down the UFC last time. It wasn't Luke Thomas. Like
Well, Disney's stock price says they wish they wouldn't have shut down the UFC.
I don't think Disney
Well,
gets
or the
too
movie
much.
theaters.
Endeavor's stock price was fucking not happy. It got shut down.
Same with Disney.
I mean, Disney's still getting their sub numbers and shit. They don't care. People's not. People's not. They're not disconnecting. They're not disconnecting their satellite and their cable fucking packages and shit.
Just firing everybody.
My wife
Jay,
just
how
got
come you-
Disney
I mean,
Plus last
that's
week.
everybody.
We've known so long.
Some UFC cards getting them a couple million viewers isn't paying the bills at Disney.
No, of
That's
course
for
not.
fucking sure.
But, chip in a chair. Jay, why do you sound like
let's
you're
get back to how Luke Thomas shut down the UFC. last week.
Jay, why do you sound like you're in a rocket ship that's hovering around the Earth?
Do I?
Off and on.
Maybe I'll just move the.
Oh, there it is.
computer around.
He's not wearing a headset. He's just going off his fucking laptop mics.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, you should
Gives no fucks about the
get some
quality of sound.
headsets.
Do you want me to go back to a headset?
Fuck
You
yeah.
sound
Yes,
you sound like
absolutely.
you're wearing one of those masks and you're in a different room.
All right, I'll think about it. All right, you guys talk and I'll put a headset back in.
All right, we'll do that. What do you guys want to talk about?
Ryan Spam.
The COVID-19 lock of the century?
Yeah. Who else would it be?
I mean, we got to go tout, like all 5 of us. You have to pay all 5 of us $9.99, and we're going to give you the same play.
And the COVID-19 killer lock of the week. Ryan Span.
One show, 5 touts.
10-unit max bet season, lead pipe lock.
50 bucks for each of us.
Yeah, 50 to win. I'm not good at math. We were talking earlier before we started recording that all the fake MMA touts, they don't do to win bets. So they'll bet like 10 units to win 3.8, and it just always cracks me up. Like if you go to a Vegas sports book and you try to cash a ticket for $28.76.
I want those pennies, bitch.
Yeah. They're like, we don't have change here, sir. Please go play the penny slots.
Don't they usually only have like quarters anyway? Like I don't know if I've ever seen somebody get some pennies cashing a ticket.
No, it's they give you the change.
Why not?
We don't even
And then
have
you just
pennies
immediately
anymore.
put it in the tip jar. Because when you get underdogs and stuff, they pay out, that. But like everyone just throws the coins. I've just never heard of someone walking up and be like, put a $50 bet on a minus 110. Like it's so weird to me.
They're a different breed, Lance. You don't know nothing about that.
This is true. Different breed indeed. Inbred.
Yeah. Positives, fights are back. Negative, the touts are back.
God, it's been bad lately.
How bad is that? It's been so bad, man. And it's like I was just laughing at the dudes like shilling fucking CS:GO fucking bets and shit. That was just funny. Now it's like the Korean baseball.
Oh, so annoying.
Bulgarian soccer experts. Now the
Belarus and Nicaraguan soccer. I'm like, dude,
Play of the year on Korean baseball coming up. 10-minute banger.
They couldn't even name a team in the league 3 days ago, but now it's
I can do that.
what's up?
I can do that way more than MMA touts. Like the MMA touts are funny. It's like I'm up, 194 units this year. Please give me $4.99.
Yeah.
Like if you're up so much, why the fuck are you spending time even uploading things on a website for $4.99?
Yeah, why are you even writing a write-up?
Yeah, and it's like if I don't win, I'll give you back your $4.99. Like, oh, thank Christ, man! I got rent to pay.
I'm convinced half of them don't even bet. I'm completely convinced.
Or they're betting $100 per.
Oh, I don't think they're betting $100.
No, they're betting like $10-20. Yeah.
Don't care. But
if you were betting $100 a fight and you're up 150 units or whatever in 2 years, why the hell are you charging someone $5? And then the best part is they charge $5, and then if they don't win, you have to send that $5 back. Like that's the most hilarious part to me.
Even like $100 bets though. Even say you're up 100 units over 2 years betting $100, like all that time and shit to make what 10
just
grand
flooring
over
yourself. Absolutely flooring yourself, wasting your time, probably fucking. And the people that are buying these bets are absolute fucking noobs. So you probably got to walk them through who to bet and shit like that, and how to bet and where to bet. Like fuck.
What does the minus mean? What's the minus next to the number mean?
Real
Wait,
dudes
I think there was a breakdown of that on Twitter the other day, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nazi guy,
some dude with Nazi tattoos gave out the first chapter of fucking betting for dummies. Is what he fucking did.
Is he Canadian?
Like straight.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something going on up there. It's like
Dude literally wrote out the very first 5 sentences of betting for dummies, and dudes are losing. Oh my god, you're the best, dog. You fucking are so smart. I'm like, what the fuck is this mad?
Screenshotting this.
Yeah. Yeah, saving this for future use.
It's fucking bad, man.
It's such a waste of space.
Yeah, Lance. I'm screenshotting this for future use. Get the fuck out of here.
Now I know that you're based on your probability. Like, oh,
fuck's sakes. It's bad though, man. I remember when Baby Dick was tout, and he would send me some screenshots of guys that were like paying for his bets and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
And they were fucking brutal. Like people are so bad at anything, and you just have to like baby them. Like you're not only a
That's how
fucking
it is,
tout,
man.
you're a fucking babysitter.
Now you can see how there's a dozen of these idiots now on Twitter that can grift these because there's so many dummies, man. I didn't get it a while back. Like, man, how are these?
It's bad.
Paying money, and then there's so many dummies out there, man. It's
Dude,
insane.
being able to speak in 101 baby terms and just having patience can go a long way in this space and a lot of spaces. Lance knows. He's the customer service guru.
Customer service. I don't do customer service.
You sort of do.
Not even a little bit.
That's not true. You know it.
Customer success and customer service. And I sell it. I don't do it.
Lance, we all service customers in a way. Clients, customers. You can call it what you want, but it's
sexually, yes, but I don't do customer service.
He does. He wants to lie.
If you gotta stroke off some fucking potential buyers, you're doing some customer service though. Like
that's true. I'm not going to fight that point.
He just doesn't like the term because he thinks it's below him, but it is what it is. We all have to appease. We all have to appease somebody, and that's what it comes down to. So if you know what your market is, Neanderthals that are going to pay $4.99, you got to find a way to appease them.
You got to get that cheese, man. You get 10 subscriptions, killing it. $50. You can almost get the pay-per-view.
It pays for lunch a few days a week.
I just looked and we all got paid for those bets by a couple people, so I guess we can release the first play of the card, the consensus 10-unit fucking Scud missile.
I heard Fight Island's being rented, so the UFC must be a little skittish about money these days.
Why would you?
They're not buying a fucking island. What are they going to do with it after it?
I don't know. If knowing Dana, he would probably
could have worked.
Dana would put fake snow on it just for the effect because that's what he likes to do. He wants to show his kids what fake snow looks like in the heat. So
he's a good dad.
Yeah, he's a very good dad. You know,
dad.
right, Lance? You're
great dad.
Takes one to know one.
The best.
Should we just go to the card?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, I guess we should open it. See if they didn't add any extra fights that we don't know about.
If someone gets the COVID, do they cancel that fight or the card?
We don't
just
know.
That fight. I bet
you
it's
sure?
Just that fight. Fuck.
I don't know how you can.
If everybody else is fucking testing positive or negative, then it's fine.
It's easy. You cover it up and you don't let the person fight.
Yeah, don't
theoretically, how long? We don't know how long it takes. No one's come out with that. Like it's like within seconds. If you're exposed, you get the virus, or it could take days to like for the
test positive, even though you already got it.
No one knows.
One way to find out. Let's try it.
Great, can't wait to do it.
Do it. It's not my problem. It's
gonna look real sketchy though if they pull a fight from the card and don't tell us why.
Dude,
he hurt his ankle.
It's Florida. They could be like Florida man runs into locker room and hits Vicente Luque in the kneecap. Like who's not gonna believe that? Like you put Florida man in front of a story, it's believable no matter what. Like there's some shit that Florida men will do.
Plus like half
of the dick.
They are in Jacksonville, man. Like you could come up with just about anything.
It's like he was walking down the street and a 3-year-old spit acid on him.
Plus half but half of these fighters live in Florida. They like train at like ATT and Black Zillions already don't like each other. So who knows? You wouldn't be surprised there's some back room shenanigans. Someone smacked somebody in the face, got a black eye, can't fight now. Whatever.
Yeah, man. Florida man, take care of business.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the first fight, and I guess it would be what, almost 2 months?
Yeah, since the last fight was Do Bronx killed a man.
Oh yeah,
in front of its family.
Way to go from Do Bronx to Sam Alvey. Great.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
And he'll take on friend of the MMA Analysis, Ryan Spann. Who wants to go first? I don't even know.
Why is he a friend of the MMA Analysis?
Because of what we're going to talk about over the next couple minutes.
No, he's not a friend of the MMA Analysis.
Maybe not you. But your vote doesn't matter anymore. You're part-time.
I'm the founder.
Who should go first? We got too many people.
I don't know shit about this.
Wes go first.
All right.
Wes go first.
Yeah, you're the man. You got this.
I just don't. There's probably not too much to say here. I think Ryan Spann is turned into a pretty damn good fighter. I think we've talked about him a little bit on this show.
What is he ranked these days? Does anyone know?
I don't think he's
Not.
ranked.
No, I don't think he's got there yet. He hasn't fought the best competition
I'll
yet,
take a
but
look.
he's winning. And I just think coming into the UFC, I've talked about it before on the show that I mean, he was fighting some decent competition at probably the best lower show that's out there in the United States anyway. And
Not ranked. Correct. He's not ranked.
No.
Should be.
No.
You're the lower show, and I did I had to take a shot.
But yeah, I mean, Sam Alvey is like 33 or something, I think, and it feels like he's 50 at this point, and he's completely washed, man. I think we see some highlight reel stuff from Ryan Spann, and should be a fun fight because Alvey usually tries to knock somebody out, and he's getting knocked out more lately. I think Spann knocks him out, and should be a good start to the card. And we'll talk about what y'all can send payment for here soon. I'll let Sean break that down.
Sam Alvey turned 34 today.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
The guy seems like he's 50.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Like he trained with like Team Quest and Dan Henderson when Dan Henderson started MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he goes ways back. He's been getting fucked up though lately.
Dan Henderson's the Moses of MMA.
He still could fight.
Exactly.
But yeah, he's been. I mean, that knockout by Lil Nog, you're pretty shot once you get knocked out by Lil Nog, and then Jimmy Crute lost. I mean, that's not that bad, but yeah, you have to take the more athletic, younger, just more dynamic striker. Sam Alvey's just gonna stare at you. He's gonna throw a couple punches around, and he's gonna get lit up by Spann, and Spann's probably gonna finish him. I took doesn't go decision at -215 for a unit.
Lance?
Yeah, Sam Alvey is terrible, and he might be one of the worst fighters to ever win this many fights. Like he's won what? He's won 10 UFC fights.
Yeah,
34.
No, like just UFC fights. He's won 10 UFC fights. He's absolutely terrible. Like I don't think he has a chance in here. Like this is going to be like an 85-year-old cancer patient with COVID-19 trying to win. Just not gonna. I'm gonna do COVID jokes all night. FYI. Diabetic 85-year-old cancer patient gets COVID and then fighting Ryan Spann. That's kind of how you break this one down. So yeah, I like Spann here. I'll definitely have him in a parlay.
Any thoughts, Brad? Or you don't care?
He knows all this stuff.
I don't really have anything to add. Like Spann, we watched him come up in Legacy, so I actually remember him a little bit from there. And Alvey was never really good, and now he's worse. So I think it's pretty safe. So
yeah, I got Spann a C, Sam Alvey a D. I mean, full letter grade, pretty significant. I think Spann will ultimately be a top 10 light heavyweight in the UFC, probably within the next 12 months. If he's not already in my mind. Physically pretty imposing, offers a little bit of everything, a little bit of knockout power, can grapple a bit. Just again, good athlete, really good physical shape. Alvey he's just not active enough. Like the most active he gets is when he does like these little counters. But like if you watch all of his fights, his output is so low. Like it's like that's why it's usually knockout or bust with that guy. And Spann hasn't really. I don't think he's been finished I think Carl Roberson finished him like 5 years ago outside of the UFC, maybe in LFA. Contender series.
Yeah. And just a note, Spann is lucky about this COVID-19 because Bear Jew was gonna choke a motherfucker out.
Well, that's been fucking bad. Struggles though is with the grappling. So
yeah, Bear Jew would have choked him out, no doubt.
Either way, I think this is one of the biggest. I think there's a huge, just a huge difference in talent. I think this is maybe the easiest pick on the entire card. So yeah, Spann wins. Sean, is this our like max unit? Lance, what were we calling this bet? I know we had a name for it before the show, but
it was something inappropriate around COVID-19.
Yep.
I think it was the COVID-19 quick killer or something like that. Yeah.
Make it where you can't breathe your lungs.
Scud missile, bet season, play of the century, something around that. Yeah. So we're gonna bet. What do we say? 10 units to win 3.85.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Lay it minus 385. Ryan Spann.
Tout season, baby. Go to MMAoddsbreaker.com.
Which could be a little bit of better fight moving up. These fights are on ESPN Plus. We got Charles Rosa in the featherweight division taking on what's his nickname? Is it Thug Nasty?
Thug Nasty,
yeah.
I forgot. Is he Arkansas's finest?
That's bloody fucking boxer shorts.
He's Mr. Ozark. He's Jonah. Okay.
He's tear your asshole out with a power drill.
This guy rocks.
And then twister you in the fucking octagon.
This is the most like southern dude in the UFC since Jason Knight. So like Wes is obviously on board, I feel.
Not with this one. Not with this one.
He's
way better than Jason.
We think he's a fucked up redneck where I'm from.
Jason Knight isn't? Mississippi, whatever was it, Mississippi. What was his nickname? Mississippi Me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Jason Knight is doing interviews where he's saying that the United States government made Corona so they can take away.
Don't care.
So they can take away your guns. Like,
care.
That's Bryce Mitchell levels of redneck.
You check your jam.
One's a winner, one's a loser. Wes Knight's a loser. Mitchell has Mitchell ever lost a fight?
No, not till this weekend.
With that
He was pumped to see those alien videos that
That's an
the old
undefeated
government
fighter.
released. That's for sure.
I don't think he's undefeated after this weekend.
Wow, that's a bold statement. Tell us why.
I like Rosa. I like Rosa as a dog. I think it's a close fight, but I just think Rosa's good enough on the mat, man. That's where Mitchell's got to get this. That's where he's gonna if he's gonna win the fight, he's gonna win it on the mat. I think Rosa's just way better on the feet. If he can keep it there, he can win the fight. I think he's good enough on the mat to not get just absolutely obliterated. Like, who the fuck did Mitchell twister fucking last time?
Matt Sales.
Matt
Sales. But yeah, I like Rosa as a slight dog. I think it's a close fight, but if Rosa keeps it standing, he's got a very good chance to win the fight.
Okay, New Sean, I have a feeling you're gonna have a different opinion.
I got nothing on this fight. I have been underestimating Bryce Mitchell. I think I've lost money on probably all 3 of his UFC fights so far. So he keeps doing wild shit. So I'm not betting him against him here, but I don't really want to lay that price on him because I think he's a bit flawed. But I'll pick him.
He got destroyed by Cantona on Tough. Like,
that doesn't look great. But I mean, I don't know if it's just matchups with him or what, but he's
just a lot better now, which is possible.
Yeah, he could have got a lot better. I don't know what it is, but I don't want anything.
Fights are weird.
Let's hear Wes's opinion now, or Lance's opinion on this.
Yeah, this is a fight. If I wasn't betting every single fight on this card, I probably wouldn't be betting. But I am betting every single fight on this card. I think we joke around about Bryce Mitchell because he's an idiot, but he looks pretty damn good. He's pretty flashy on the ground. He's tough as nails, and sometimes that's enough to win when you're in the lower level and you're not in that top tier. And I like Bryce Mitchell here, and I don't think he's going to let down Trump in this with the pandemic and everything else. Like, he's not going to let Trump down. Like, this is a W here.
You think he'll get the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
Dude, he's gonna be on the Corona task force after.
Yes,
he'll be sitting next to Colby. Me and Colby are sitting right there in the Oval Office. It's great.
Those are the guys going to be working with Jared to come up with a vaccine after this weekend. What are you talking about?
The 2 of them, Derek Lewis. There's a few others that are going to be sitting there. You got to have some diversity on the panel.
Yeah, I heard he's actually after this fight just flying down, hanging out with Bill Gates, and they're going to knock this fucking vaccine out.
Oh, they got the man for the job, that's for sure.
You goddamn right, man. Fucking A.
Brad, what are you thinking about?
I'm trying to decide whether I've ever seen Bryce Mitchell fight before.
I think you have.
Shit. He's the one who ripped his ball sack off.
Yeah, but actually fighting, probably not, because he hasn't been on any big cards that Brad would have actually watched.
Yeah, like if anything, I know I remember reading about him back in like WSOF.
Yeah.
But he was on the undercards and stuff, so I don't think I ever saw it. So I got nothing here. Lance sounded pretty convincing, like even though this dude's an idiot, it's pretty good.
Doesn't matter. Most of the fighters are. So I mean, look at the greatest fighter of all time. Pretty dumb.
I don't care.
Ben Askren is not dumb.
Oh fuck! Did he wake up yet?
Yeah, he's awake. He said he wants to open up everything. This was like weeks ago. He's like, I need to fucking haircut.
He wants us all to be on Bitcoin. Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah, very progressive. Very progressive.
Anyway, Charles Rose a C-, Bryce Mitchell C. Pretty competitive grappling matchup. I think that's the interesting part of this fight is how competitive the grappling will be, and kind of who has the advantage there. I think it's fairly even in that regard. I do think Mitchell I think confidence plays a big part here. The guy's undefeated. Obviously won 12 fights in a row. Just being undefeated has a bit of an aura around it. And he's just dumb enough to kind of believe in himself. And that should weigh in here. Younger, and just the ability, once you're younger and, just a higher rate of getting better. Kind of what Nushan was suggesting before. I think he's probably just better than what we saw when he was on Tough or whatever that was 3 years ago. So I'm going to I'll take Mitchell here, but it's not a huge. I mean, it's not a super confident thing, like Lance said. Like it's not something you really want to put a lot of stake in. But I do favor Mitchell just a bit in this fight. Next fight, I think, should be a bit of a banger. I really do. It's Vicente Luque and Nico Price on the Fight Pass prelim main event. If that's
this card's so good.
I'm a huge Luque fan. So, but let's hear Wes's POV on this. I think he's going to say Luque by finish, but let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta lean Luque here. I'm a huge Luque fan. Guys, his offensive striking, his hands are some of the best you'll see, but man, there's just a worry here, man, that look, Nico Price, he can land something. We've seen it. I'm not certain that Luque doesn't have the chin that he could take a couple big blows from Price, because he's probably going to catch some. He gets hit, and we know what Nico Price is going to do. I'm still leaning that Luque takes those couple shots, and we know when things start, they kind of get bad for Nico. He's not in a fight like when things are going well for him. So if he can get Luque out of there early, I mean, that's his best shot. But I think just the longer it goes, even into the first round, it's going to be Luque's fight. Man, I'm one to bet every fight like Lance because I'm a degenerate and I haven't been able to degen. I'm going to look for something to bet here. I just can't lay that kind of juice on Luque here. Maybe something inside the distance or something like that. But pick is Luque, but I think it's really hard to lay that kind of juice on him in this spot because Nico is dangerous.
All right, Nushan.
Yeah, I like Luque a good bit more than Wes here. Obviously, this is a rematch. They fought. How long ago was that? In 2017, October 2017. So almost 3 years. There definitely is some danger. I mean, Price has power and shit does get crazy and he does pull things out of his ass. But I think when he steps up in competition, you kind of see what happens. I mean, when he stepped up to Jeff Neal, who I think is good, we saw what happened to him. So I think Price knows to win this fight, he's going to have to brawl. And I think that plays into Luque's hand. And I think Luque is going to knock him out or drop him and sub him. So I took Luque inside the distance at minus 145 for 2 units.
All right. Lance, Luque time?
No, I'm going the other way. I'm going with that fucking crazy lunatic. Like, I don't know where he's
lunatic
from.
French?
I mean, I love the guy for what he did to our friend of the MMA Analysis last time.
I don't know where Nico Price is from, but I can only guess he's a Florida man.
He's a Florida man.
Oh,
is
yeah.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, the fucking
Of course
Florida
he
man.
is.
He creates havoc, and I don't know. I feel like Nico is going to catch him and finish him, and I kind of feel like Luque has actually been getting a little bit worse. Like, you look at the Barberena fight, like, he didn't look good in that fight. I know it was a fun fight, and he got the finish at the end. He got hit a lot by Mike Perry. He gets beat by Wonder Boy. I feel like he's kind of going the wrong way here, and you never know with rematches. He could be overlooking him. There's a lot of stuff at play here. I think at plus 250, I think it's definitely worth a shot on the Florida man to get shit done. And yeah, I like Price here, so I'll have a little bit of a stab on him.
Brad,
what's him inside? Why wouldn't you just take him inside?
It's only like 325.
Oh,
that's why, dipshit.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I even looked at
asking questions. God damn it!
I'm kind of on the same page as Lance here. If Luque comes out and actually grapples, he'll win this fight easily.
Yeah.
But the last fight where he actually grappled, like, I don't know that I've watched all of them real close, but was it against Nico Price the first time?
It could be.
Probably.
It could be.
And since then he's been on the feet and he's been winning fights, but he's been getting caught a lot. And that dude hits hard and he can create some chaos. And I think we all sort of agreed that Luque is going to eat some in this fight. And, at this point, I could see him eating the one that just puts him out. So, yeah, if anything, I'm going to have to go with Florida man. He's in his element here.
Fucking do this for Munich, Brad. Me and you.
Right.
All right.
No, you need to do the forearms.
I need more claws.
Easy on the forearms, please.
Claw's got Lance over the lip.
What?
Yeah, he's thinking too hard about this. Either way, Luque B-, Price C-. What most people don't realize is that Luque has never been knocked out in his career. 25 fights, been sub twice, has some decision losses, never knocked out. Nico Price isn't winning a decision. I mean, it just doesn't seem like that's plausible. I think he'd have to get a finish. Luque, even though he's taken some shots and maybe had some vulnerabilities, I mean, he does recover quite well. We've seen it in several fights, and he's really an outstanding striker. Way better striker than Nico Price is. I think he kind of wipes the floor with him. Beats him probably by knockout. In all honesty,
Nico Price has the most wins from his back by strikes in UFC history.
He might have to get another one. He might have to add to that because he's going to be on his back.
He's got
two.
Yeah,
the last one might have been the greatest one we've ever seen.
That was
amazing.
Florida man sets record for most knockouts from his back. I mean,
if you're facing a Mookie fighter, that would be one thing. And Luque is born in my neck of the woods, a couple towns away. So,
Brazil.
Don't listen to Jay. He's just a homer.
Brazilian mother, but born in New Jersey. That's a true story.
Yeah, he's American.
He's American. He just looks Brazilian. He is Brazilian.
He is Brazilian. That's why he looks Brazilian. But anyway, moving on.
Whatever that means. Anyway.
Because he is Brazilian.
Turns that hat around. It says MAGA.
Yeah. That shit should be red, Lance.
Before we get into the ESPN televised card, I will say that
he's got a baby hat on.
This is my 4-year-old son's hat.
This
awesome.
He's ready to take a ride in the stroller to the park.
Turn him off.
Damn right.
I'm going to meet you all.
It's my childhood.
I will say that this is the best ESPN preliminary pay-per-view card, maybe ever. I think ever.
I don't even know what that means.
There's fights on this that were supposed to be main events of cards coming up that are just all thrown on this card.
This is very good. Very good TV card. Starts off with the man who started the Calcutta rat shit controversy, Uriah Hall.
No controversy.
Well,
it happened.
Nobody ate the rat shit, so it was definitely controversy.
It was a clean win.
Clean.
Just a complete renege on the bet by the hill country folk of North Carolina.
Now we died. So,
How You get your thumb cut off, or you got to just disappear.
And apparently
he did the latter. Yeah,
he did the latter, and he's taking on a Lance favorite, the Alligator Man, Jacare.
Lance and his love for
I
Brazilians.
always forget how much Lance hates Brazilians, but he loves 3 of them so much.
Yeah.
He hates about 99% of them, but 3 of them are his top 5 fighters in MMA.
Who's the third one?
There's another one. I forgot who it was, but there was a third one.
In my top
There's definitely a third one.
You like Costa? You like those muscles, don't you, Lance?
I don't.
He's not special.
No, he's not special. Like
I don't think I like 3 Brazilians, and there's definitely not 3 Brazilians in my top 5.
He used to like Almeida a lot, but then he got.
No, never liked him.
It's always been 2, Jacare and Dubravka.
Yeah.
I thought that was a third. I'm pretty sure there was a third.
It's about nicknames, right? Like Dubronx, Jacare.
Has anyone ever explained how that nickname even came about?
Dubronx? No.
Doesn't matter.
It would be kind of.
It
cool.
means
so
of
much
the
better.
Bronx.
Yeah,
That's what
he's fucking Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
Chucky Olives.
Rio's equivalent.
Lance did like Claudia for a woman, but he doesn't like many female fighters. That's true.
Nope.
No, he did. I remember.
He didn't like her fighting. He just like
Yeah,
He liked the
confusing.
Instagram. That was good.
you're confusing things.
Anyway, Wes, is there going to be another Calcutta rat shit moment?
No,
nobody's dumb enough to make that bet ever again.
Nobody wants to disappear from the podcast forever. It's literally like a career-ending match.
This is this is one of those fights where I'm with the line where it's at. I'm gonna have to be proven wrong on this one. I gotta play Jacare against Uriah fucking Hall at -120. I just have to. Look, Jacare is getting to that wash state, but I didn't think he looked bad against Blackowitz. I mean, he did kind of late. You could argue that you could have gave him that decision. It was close. I like him back down at 185 a whole lot more than him up at 205 fighting those kind of guys. So he's cutting the weight. He's getting back down. He's got to have some motivation here in this fight. And I just, man, if Uriah Hall pulls out a fucking spinning back kick, what the fuck ever, and does that, then so be it. I can't see it, man. Jacare will get takedowns in this fight. And once he does, it's fucking over for Uriah Hall. I will take -120 on Jacare against a guy like this any day of the week. They're gonna have to prove me wrong.
You'll lose money, Wes, but you won't eat shit. That's the stance you're taking.
The guy,
level of ticket.
Guy pointing at his head gift.
All right, New Sean, thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely picking Jacare here, but something's holding me back. Those are 2 back-to-back pretty bad performances. I know like he could have won the Jan fight, but like nothing happened for the most part. So and then the loss to Hermanson, who was able to beat him by decision in a 5-round fight. It's not great. Uriah Hall's pulling wins out of his ass somehow. So yeah, I'm obviously not backing him, but I'll just pass and pick Jacare.
Lance, I know who you're picking. It's not even a. I'm not even sure why I'm even asking you.
Yeah, Jacare, one of 2 Brazilians that I really like.
But 3 in the top 5.
Yeah, 3 in my top 5.
Well, Bronx is kind of 2 men, so
that's true. I mean, I kind of like I kind of like JDS, but not like I would be upset if he lost. Like I wouldn't really care. Just really do Bronx and Jacare.
Just the 2. Got it, Lance.
And I don't know if Jacare's in my top 5. He's somewhere around.
He definitely was at one point.
Maybe.
Definitely.
I mean, you got Frankie. You got Bader, who before he retired, like few years
But he
ago.
retired though, so we can't talk about him anymore.
Yeah, Bader retired. Chael retired.
Ashton
retired. So I'm just running out of options here. And Jacare's on his, Gray Maynard. That was a good one.
He's not sure he counts.
He's probably not retired.
He's on that Joe Biden
He's ready to go, man.
right now.
2020's Maynard's year.
This COVID gave his brain a chance to
Him and
reset
Joe
back into
Biden are on the
place.
same brain path.
Yeah, he's recuperated.
He said Gray Maynard and Biden's on the same.
I do like Jacare here, but I will say this about I've been really good at MMA betting since I've been doing it, but nobody rides old, washed up fighters longer than me. Nobody. No one does it. I don't know. You cannot test me. I was betting fucking Josh Koscheck and Bellator still. I was still riding that Koscheck train.
Yeah, you definitely get off. You don't get off the train until the very last.
I get off the train when the train has literally stopped at the retirement home. That's when I get off the train. Until then, Jacare is going to beat Uriah Hall. He's going to take him down. Lance drives
from New York to LA, and he literally stops when the train hits the Pacific Ocean.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you bet Frankie against fucking Korean Zombie.
He's gonna be betting Frankie for like another 5 years.
Every fight. Yeah, there's certain guys that you can't really trust that I'll bet on. Really only a few, but I will bet Frankie Edgar versus anyone.
You bet Maynard a lot.
Even after getting knocked out,
Yeah, if Frankie fought, Max Holloway tomorrow, I'm taking Frankie. I'm just taking Frankie. It's something that's going to happen.
How many times do you bet Maynard after expiration date?
So I bet Maynard in every fight of his career. First off,
Jesus Christ,
that's not true. I'm sure he's had fights. Like,
what about against Frankie?
Yeah, exactly. What about when he fought Frankie?
I bet Frankie in those fights.
Of course.
Wait, didn't he have that weird slam, no contest where he knocked himself out or something?
That was his first fight. It was against the guy that slept with someone's wife. What's his name?
Oh, just another
Dana White.
No, the guy that Gray Maynard drew with. Sean's probably looking it up. I would say the guys that I rode the longest while losing the most amount of money.
Tyson Griffin.
Dakota Cochran.
No, it wasn't Tyson Griffin.
No.
It wasn't Tyson Griffin.
Tyson Griffin was awesome, though.
Darren Cruikshank.
Who did Gray have a no contest with? It's that guy. Emerson. It's Emerson.
Oh, you're looking for Gray. Oh, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his first fight after the Ultimate Fighter.
Robert Emerson was the dude.
Yes.
I would say I probably lost money on people more than Gray and rode longer. I would say it's somewhere. It's really close between Josh Koscheck and Eric Silva. I was down in Eric Silva round one, just bangs all the way through. Just Eric Silva round one.
I remember that streak.
And then Eric Silva fought Koscheck, and I was like, Kos is back. So I went off the Eric Silva bandwagon, and then I bet Koscheck, and then I also lost that. So yeah, I'm pretty good at this old man shit. So I'll keep riding it. So I'm going Jacare. I don't know if he gets a finish, but I think he takes him down early, often beats him up. Possible Uriah Hall hits a spinning back kick in the third round, but I think I'll go with Jacare here.
Okay, Bradford.
Yeah, I think part of the problem with Jacare in the last couple of fights and why they didn't look good is because they were 5 rounds, and that guy's just not really built to go 5 rounds. Uriah Hall's never beaten somebody as good as Jacare, and Jacare's on the decline, obviously, but he's still pretty damn good, and he's still better than Uriah Hall. So I'll take basically even money.
That line's dumb, man. I maybe I'm completely fucking wrong, but that line's crazy, man.
We're gonna look super right or super wrong.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
one or the other. Of course,
it's either Jacare is going to dominate every second of this fight, or he's
washed.
Yeah, and Hall will get some crazy ass knockout if we're wrong. That's what's gonna happen. But
he's not submitting Jacare.
Nah, he's not. I don't.
Probably not going to win a decision either.
I don't. Yeah,
but it is all by submission, Nushan. If you have that open, I'd be curious.
Ooh, what? You're right all about submission.
What is the price on that? Just out of curiosity.
Oh my god!
Is it even
you can get it at plus 5,000 at DSI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can give me 7,500. I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
I got Hall a C, Jacare a B. There are factors with every single fight is that we don't know how each of these guys have really been training and how they've really been going about things with this, but everybody's underneath the same thought process. So we're all kind of working from the normal slate of, well, we're just going to have to plan as if everything is the same. So I'm not going to take that into account, but I mean, let's be honest. If Jacare gets Hall to the ground, he's submitting him. That's the truth. and there's a pretty good chance of that happening. Uriah Hall, certainly not that active on the feet. He's kind of like one of those like Joel, where he's like super explosive and then like takes off like 2 minutes and does nothing. Jacare way more active, but he has taken damage in recent fights, so you gotta be a bit mindful. Like, I'm not sure my B grading is really accurate anymore. It could be a bit lower, but he's certainly better than Uriah Hall. Way more just way more well-rounded. And Hall has been a flake in the past. We know that as a fact. So I'll take Jacare to win. And he's probably worth a small bet, but let's not get crazy.
So before you move on, Jay made a good point about how you train for these fights and who's best equipped for it. There's only one answer for who is best equipped to be good in these conditions.
I know.
Brad, I'm going to go you first.
Hasn't Uriah Hall been like under his bed for like
Oh yeah, he's the greatest.
Why is he not in his garage for a decade? He's like, this is my time. You guys are so used to gyms. I'm training in this trash can.
I'm so used to training
Raj weight champ.
The only way I'm okay with Jones getting stripped of anything is if they just give the belt to Glover.
It's his time.
Who else deserves it?
It is his time.
Raj weight.
Pride of Danbury, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Raj weight
so
champ.
fucking right.
Man,
Is there ever been a better time for the rise of fucking Glover?
No.
Right now, baby.
This is the time.
This is his world. We're just all fucking quarantined.
He's fighting somebody coming up.
Next week, he's the main event.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He's fighting Anthony Smith.
Dude, he's
for the
plus
belt.
140 versus Anthony Smith. I'm going
he's-
deep on that.
He's got a shot. He's got a shot in that fight for sure. Man.
Anthony
That
Smith
numbers
is
actually
getting-
came down. He was up to like
Anthony
minus
Smith is
150,
getting
160.
beat up by home invaders and fighting fucking rednecks and shit.
He can't even knock out burglars and shit.
Yeah, man. Clover's in that garage right now just putting in work, man. He's about to jump in that garbage can hot tub after his workout, get some heat on that, and go in ice bath in the other trash can. This dude-
Nobody has trained harder. Nobody has trained harder in the past 2 months than fucking Glover.
If you ask Glover how coronavirus has affected his training, he's going to go, what the fuck is coronavirus?
Zero.
Wait, what do you mean? I just been here working. What do you
He's been around the same neighborhood kids for like 2 years.
Nothing's
They don't have to quarantine from each other.
I haven't heard of
They already have
corona. I haven't heard of corona. I just been in my gym just working.
He didn't even know nothing's happening. This is all, just normal world for him. Well, now we go to Lance's favorite part of the card, the female fighter part of the card, the only women's fight on the card.
Do it, Brad.
Carla Esparza, former strawweight champion, who knew, taking on what had been the karate hottie, but we don't know if that's true anymore in the coronavirus.
I follow on Instagram. She still got it.
Okay, so still karate hottie.
She's still
right.
good, yeah.
Michelle Watterson, former what was that? Warrior
Atom
show.
weight.
Yeah.
Invicta. Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah. I forget the name of that show.
She's no Bellator. That one Bellator chick, man. They need to, man.
Curtail her.
Laruda?
Yeah.
Laruda?
I don't get too thirsty on shit, but god damn, man. Woo.
So to speed the show up, should we just say who we're betting?
Yeah.
Move on to the next one.
All right, Wes. Give us a quick thing on this one.
I think this is going to be a lot of rolling around on the mat, and
Yeah.
I kind of lean Watterson as a dog.
Wooderson?
Yeah, Watterson.
Whoa.
I fucking love that shit, Wes.
Yeah, you ain't never heard me say wash.
Water.
Gotta go wash. Yeah,
Water. I can't believe Brad missed that. Hey, Brad, Wes said water.
Order.
Like Wooder?
That's how we say it down here.
I thought he said order,
Yeah.
but I guess
I know there's a
water.
bunch of lacrosse guys that say like Wooder dogs.
Yeah, well,
they just-
water dogs.
gotta go wash my clothes. Like I don't say wash, I say wash.
I mean, that's fucked up.
Like
All right,
Beautiful. It's a beautiful language, Wes.
All right, Nushan. Wes likes Watterson. Not water, but water. Nushan, give us your thoughts, quick.
I'm not betting either way. As far as it looks like she's got better on the feet, it could be just who she was fighting compared to the elite. I think she'll wrestle enough and Watterson hopefully doesn't grab a sub or crazy sweep or anything like that. But yeah, so I'll pick Esparza, but I don't want to bet it.
Lance.
Yeah, I'm as you know,
abstaining.
What was that? Some claw?
Bench. What is it? Whatever that is.
It's a local brewery. Give them a shout out to our massive audience.
Wow, we got a boy who's Mr. Sloth tweeting in the chat from New Zealand. Apparently been listening to 4 years. Can't wait for our next fight breakdown. So let's get through this so we can give this guy what he wants. It's pretty early in New Zealand. Actually,
yeah, I'm thinking.
Do you think anyone actually listens to us, or is it like Jerry just creating a fake account to make us feel good?
Hey, we'll take whatever we can get, Brad. Come on now.
He's got like 8. He's got 8 burner accounts going right now, so we got like 8 people watching.
I like Michelle Wooderson as well here.
There we
I'm
go.
betting every fight
There we
on
go.
this card, so it's going to be a small bet because this isn't a real sport.
It's not a 10-unit banger.
Yeah, no, this would be the 1 unit. I don't know what the opposite of lead pipe lock it is, but
The sprinkler pipe.
Placid pipe lock.
yeah. So if you send me like 62 cents, like I'll give you this bet. But yeah, I like Watterson here. I just think Esparza is just a terrible fighter, and I'm not gonna pick her here.
Brad, that's $1 in Canada though, right?
No, it's like $20.
This was like $3.
No, he meant my
62 cents.
62 cents. If I sent you $1 Canadian, it would be like 62 cents right now.
That's what I was
Currency
thinking.
is fucked.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Brad, you have any thoughts on this fight, or are you just gonna talk about currency?
I haven't watched any of either of their recent fights, but it feels like Michelle Wooderson shouldn't be an underdog here.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, all right. I got Esparza C+, Wooderson B. This is tricky because I think against like higher level competition, Wooderson would be way better. Esparza certainly is so limited. It's really a grappler. I know you're saying she's a better striker, but she's really not. She's fought a bunch of mooks and hasn't done too much. Can't hurt anybody on the feet still. Plus Wooderson, way better kicker, can keep Esparza a bit at range, but if she kicks, she gets taken down. It gets a little complicated, but Wooderson certainly better transitions and like kind of could scramble a lot better than Esparza, but just straight takedowns, Esparza could lay and pray and get a victory. So even though the ranking, my grades are a bit different here, I think this is a really competitive fight. I lean Wooderson, but I definitely won't be betting it. All right, let's move on. Alexei Oleinik versus I don't know when the last time he's fought. Big Daddy Fabricio Verdum.
2 years. Over 2 years.
Yeah, because of fucking USADA, probably.
Bastards.
Yeah, he was.
Are both of these guys actually in Florida right now? Or do they still have to make it there?
Verdum's always been there.
Verdum's a Cali guy.
Yeah, everybody's there now. I believe they're all taking tests and shit today.
They're getting
I wasn't sure about Oleinik or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know where the fuck he trains.
Oleinik trains in Florida. Yeah, he trains in Florida.
I think he trains at ATT. I think so.
Yeah, yeah. From time to time, I'm pretty sure he's down at ATT, like Jay said.
All right, Wes.
Cool.
Is we're going to see an Ezekiel choke? Yeah.
Fuck that.
Man, look, I think you got to lean Verdum, but man, over minus 300 here. Dude hasn't fought in almost 2.5 years. It's hard to lay that kind of money on a guy been off that long, and a guy that looked like USADA had caught up to him too. Like, man, that guy's physique went to absolute fucking pudding there his last couple of fights. I'll probably go a little different way, and I'm going to go fatties on this one. I think this gets over a round and a half. I think these dudes do a whole bunch of nothing for a couple rounds, especially Verdum. I mean, that guy's hasn't done a lot of much his past couple fights, even before he got the suspension. So over 2-year layoff and shit, he's going to be slow, man. Give me over 1.5. I believe it's around minus 120 now.
All right, new Sean.
Yeah, it's not bad, Wes. the number was a lot cheaper on Verdum a little while ago. It was like -180, or I think that's where it opened. At that price, I'd probably take Verdum, but not now. I did take a shot on him by sub at plus 560 for half a unit. He's definitely a better jiu-jitsu guy. Olynyk has been sub before. I really don't think Olynyk can sub Verdum, so he's going to have to just knock him out on the feet. Verdum did look like shit lately, but I still think when he goes against lesser guys, who I think Olynyk is, he just, for some reason, people are dumb and get subbed by him. I mean, he was going to war with Maurice Green. This is a pretty big step up, even if Verdum is kind of the deflated USADA diet. So I'll pick him, and I like that sub bet at that big number.
That sounded great. Lance?
Yeah, I know the USADA and the layoff and everything else, but I don't see where Olynyk can hang with him anywhere. I think Verdum's a way better striker. I mean, Olynyk gasses quick, has no striking. Like that Maurice Green fight, I bet on Olynyk in that fight. But like if he wouldn't have got that takedown at that point, like he was about to get knocked out and finished in that fight. And he's just not very good. And I think even a washed up Verdum, I think he's way better on the feet. I think he's obviously better on the ground. So I do like Verdum here, and I'll be betting on him.
All right, Brad?
Yeah, I like Verdum as well. Really got not a lot to say about Alexei Olynyk except that he fought Chael Sonnen back in Bodog fight.
Did he really?
Who won?
Way back when. Who do you think won?
Chael.
Yeah, he's never been defeated. Of course he won.
Honestly, what was the actual result of the fight? Was it decision?
Chael won.
Chael won by decision for the 3-round decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Verdum's going to do in this fight. He's going to come back. He's going to be old and slow and just sort of like jab and leg kick and maybe lay on him a bit to victory. And that's
get
like
gross.
280.
Patties, baby.
I got Olynyk D plus, Fabrizio Verdum B, maybe B minus. It's kind of hard to tell though because of obviously hasn't fought in a while, but he's just so much better on the feet. Like Verdum, at least we know, like pretty active, like decent enough gas tank for 3 rounds. Olynyk is like he can't really compete on the feet here. Like, and let's be candid, is Olynyk really going to get an Ezekiel choke on this dude? I mean,
0 chance.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. So Verdum just has all the advantages here. It would be really stunning if Olynyk knocked out Verdum. It's the only way he wins. So I think Verdum wins this pretty easily, all things considered. Let's move on. Donald Cerrone, what the people want. People's main event? I don't know. Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis. Seems like something we all want to say.
The Ghosts. Yeah. It's a ghost title.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a little, nostalgia to it, I guess.
Sure
but
does,
man, these are 2 guys getting towards the end, and I think Pettis is just about done, man.
He has.
I don't really get Cowboy being the dog here. I kind of thought this would be flipped to where Pettis would be the slight dog in this spot. I know Cowboy's been active and he's gotten beat up a little bit this year, but fuck, man, you're talking about against 3 of the best guys in the entire fucking sport that he's lost to over the past year. And I mean, Pettis is just getting absolutely obliterated by everybody, man. It doesn't really matter who he fights. I know we watched him get that crazy shit on Wonder Boy, but goddamn, he was just getting absolutely murdered in that fight up to that point. I just think Cowboy's he's got a little bit more left in the tank than Pettis at this point. He stayed active this year, stayed training. So another thing to think about when we do talk about the virus and shit, like what kind of training are the guys getting and shit? We know Cowboy's getting his same training because it's at his fucking ranch and all the same guys are there. So nothing's probably really changed for him much. So yeah, I like Cowboy here as a slight dog. Like I said, I thought this line would be the opposite way, and I think he gets a later round finish on Pettis.
All right, Nushan.
Yeah, Cerrone kind of takes the whole being, fighting a lot to the extreme. This will be his 5th fight in just over a year, and he's taken quite a bit of damage in that time. not to say that Pettis hasn't taken damage. That CDF fight was pretty bad. He got washed there. I think both these guys are just absolutely washed. I do think Pettis is still dangerous for one round, and that might be enough if he lands the liver kick that he did last time against Cerrone. I think Cerrone's going to go down, obviously. So I would look maybe Pettis round 1. I can get it at like plus 500. That's not bad. But yeah, I don't want any part of this fight. I'll pick Pettis to finish in round 1 though.
Lance? Something on your plane.
Holy shit! What just happened?
Who was that?
Go. Fucking Wes.
Wes.
It's always Wes. Let's just always
look like the kid who just ripped one.
I didn't do nothing.
I know.
Hand in the cookie jar. I don't think it was
I didn't
him.
do nothing. Look, same
job,
shit.
dude.
I didn't.
It's fixed now, so it's all good.
I like Cowboy here. I think Pettis has nothing left, offensively and defensively.
He's got one round. Come on now.
I know he caught Wonder Boy with that shot, but I think Cowboy still has it offensively, and I think Cowboy can still put it on people. Not that long ago, we saw him beating really, really good guys and not landing a shot like Pettis did. But with the Anthony Hernandez fights and some of the other fights, like I don't think he's completely washed. I think he's still Cowboy, right? Like I think he can still fight. I think his body's still soft. He can get caught. He does some dumb shit, but I think Cowboy's still going to bring it. I think he's going to come forward, and I think he's going to overwhelm Pettis. And I just feel like I hate saying this, but I think Cowboy just wants it more. Like Cowboy wants to fucking win this fight. He's probably been training a lot harder, if I had to guess, just based on his situation. And I like Cowboy here, and I do like him a lot as a dog.
Okay, Bradford.
I don't really love anything here. Cowboy should probably win if he doesn't come out and try and get too cute and go like technical striker tit for tat with Pettis. He'll be fine. If he comes out and he's just aggressive, he'll definitely win this and pushes him against the cage and does the shit that everyone does to Pettis. Then he'll be in good shape. But if he wants to come out and really just like give space and be technical, he could get ripped up a little bit for a round because Pettis is still capable of that. So I've got that worry, and that's just going to keep me away from this. I could see that plus 500 that Sean was talking about going in like a prop round robin because those are always destined to lose anyway. So it's a good thing to throw in there.
Yeah, I got Cerrone B+, Pettis B-. I mean, at this stage of their career, I think there's really no doubt that Cerrone is a superior fighter than Pettis. I think since their last fought, which is 2013, Pettis has fought, I think, 13 times, and Cerrone's fought like double that, 26, 27 times. Jesus. So definitely way more active. I mean, I like Cerrone as a fighter better. There's no denying it. But at the same time, I'm always skittish of siding with a fighter who's already lost to that other fighter. Pettis won like fairly convincingly, by first round finish the first time they fought. So just Pettis is obviously going to have some confidence because he's already beaten him. Cerrone's obviously been knocked out by him. But it is different times and different ways, and Cerrone really should win. And I'm going to side with Cerrone here, but just because of the past history, it makes me really skittish to do anything with it. So that's
where is Wesley's beverage du jour?
What now?
Somebody asked about it in the chat. JJJ.
Where's the wine, sir? Come on.
Where's your Pinot Noir?
I gotta dry out, man. From my birthday last Wednesday till Sunday, it just is a blur.
You're not drinking?
Nah, I gotta dry out, man. I drank just like way too much last week.
On last week's show, you were pretty good.
That was my birthday. I drank till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was what you did after the podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
Then I drank Friday and Saturday and Sunday. It's fucking quarantine
Bender.
time.
Yeah, there's no different days. We get it. Let's move on. Main card. Let's talk about bigger and better things. And big things mean fatties. We got a fatty fight.
These things? Mm-hmm.
We just talked about a fatty fight.
Bigger, better. You talking about this?
We got a better fatty fight, Brad. Jorgen De Castro, you don't know, taking on sort of a friend of the MMA Analysis, or if you don't know.
I'm sure it's a friend. Maybe call him a business acquaintance.
Yeah, there we
He's an
go.
associate. He's an associate.
That's a lot better.
Good friend, dear friend of the podcast. We go way back. Met his wife, met his girlfriend. We go way back.
Which one was nicer?
Too much.
Probably the girlfriend.
Like Lance, did you used to roofie chicks in bars with Hardy back in the day?
And Bill Cosby, 3 of them.
Kids will be kids, you know. Just guys being guys.
The kids are gonna be kids, you know.
Shit.
Oh man, we're off the rails. What else are you gonna talk about when you gotta talk about a great?
Man, somebody
fight?
wants to see your forearms.
Damn.
He already saw him.
Oh,
He wants to see him again.
Pay attention, Jay. You gotta
Are
pay
we
attention,
turning?
man.
Are we turning this into a? This is turning into a fans only account. This is going to be a fans
Only
only.
fans?
Anything
OnlyFans?
to get money. Anything to get money.
Well, there it is.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow.
Look at those fans.
So veiny.
Is that a cock or a
Oh
form?
my god.
Is
Is that Tito? Those two
that a-
Titos?
Is this gonna be like another shirk reference? He's got those shirk arms going on.
Is that happy face Tito or Lance's forearm?
He's got there's 2 kids. Tito's kids.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Do you think Tito calls it the punishment?
Fuck.
Oh man. Oh, I'd definitely have a nickname in that realm if I was playing my kneecaps daily.
He's polishing his kneecaps. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
No wonder Tito's had 17 knee surgeries. It's not all fighting.
It's understandable. I mean, it's easy to strain a ligament when it's a lot of heavy lifting.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
Wes,
let's get
we
into
got
it.
Hardy or De Castro.
Yeah, I mean you got to like Hardy here. I'm hoping this line just keeps coming down. Maybe people are kind of thinking how I was thinking going in that Hardy should win this, but man, he's batshit fucking crazy in and out of the cage, and you never fucking know with that guy sometimes. But man, this De Castro guy's literally just crushing cans of cans, man. And if I can see Hardy at around minus 150 or something, I'm not sure what he is by KO right now, but
It's probably not much cheaper.
Man, yeah, so I'd like to see money line. I mean, I would never be shocked to see Hardy even go to a decision. Sometimes he's done it. He's gone 3 rounds with some of these dudes. So, but you got to like him in this fight. I know avid listener of the show, pizza guy out there in California's got a lot of money on Hardy, and I don't know how you trust thousands of dollars or whatever a unit is on a batshit crazy guy like that. I like Hardy though.
$2,500 per unit, Wes. Come on, get it right.
$2,286.
Well, let's just say 1,500 pizza pies on Greg Hardy.
Dude, pizza places are thriving in this environment. First off,
Crushing it.
Laugh all you want, but they're.
Yeah.
I mean, no, our boys' unit's probably up to like $3,000 now a unit with the way.
Yeah, I heard it's up to $2,987.86 a unit.
And that's an MMA play.
And
Did you
what's
did
the
you guys-
return on that when you bet it on a 180?
God, you guys see JJJ's thing? Any 115 pound female in the UFC is dead. Bringing back old school, we had like many podcasts dedicated to me fighting 115 pound.
Yeah, we talked about this a lot.
Hey, Lance, considering who we're going to talk about in the co-main event, you're a trendsetter.
Yeah, I got this.
He started that shit.
Yeah, he copied me.
I like Hardy, but I like Wes. I can't trust him too much. I put him in a 1 unit parlay at minus 175. He's better defensively. He's probably hits harder than DeCastro. I just think he's better at this point. DeCastro, he's got some knockouts, but those are against some trash cans. So I'll take the much better athlete in what is a shitty heavyweight fight.
5-star athlete. Anyway,
yeah.
Lance.
Yeah, I like Hardy a lot here. They needed to get him a win, and they gave him a fight that he's going to win. And he said after this he's going to be moving to Fight Island, just getting residence there.
Committed.
Fine.
That's because there's no laws there, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
There's no extradition. Come on.
He can beat up as many island ladies as he wants.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect. Like, I think it's going to be set up like the Most Dangerous Game, where except instead of shooting them, hunting them, it's just beat down. So there's going to be women all over Fight Island, and they just let Hardy
rolls up and beats the shit out of him.
So, like, it's a reality show, and it's something. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm just saying they should pay me if they do this thing, but it's not a bad idea. But yeah, I do like Hardy here. I think he's a superior fighter, and I think Hardy's one of those guys, even with time off and not fighting and camp's not fully in, he's going to be a guy that's going to get better every single time, and he's going to be working and getting better because he is so raw. But he has that talent. He's such an athlete, and I think even in these times, he's going to be improving a lot. So I think this is going to be a pretty easy win, and he's down to minus 180 right now, and inside the distance plus 150. Like I feel like that's plus 150 inside the distance. Seems a little criminal.
Lance, would you qualify this as being a big, strong guy, Greg Hardy?
He is a big, strong man. Yeah. And if you cross him, I swear to God.
Doesn't matter if you're man or woman.
Fight Island Most Dangerous Game Edition is going to be fucking off the charts. So, Dana, yeah.
Brad, are you going to make this 4 for 4?
You damn right. Brad's the number one fucking fan of Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
That was a good breakdown.
Yeah, yep. I got nothing. He's going to beat up the tubby dude that's never fought anybody.
That's fine. DeCastro D, Hardy C-. I mean, we love Hardy here. Again, way better athlete, never been knocked out. That's a big thing in a fight where it's two guys that throw haze. Hardy definitely better chin. But the only thing with Hardy you can't trust is that he might DQ himself just because there's no fighter who likes to disqualify himself from fights more than Greg Hardy. Yeah. So that's part of the issue. That's really the only thing holding me back here. But I do like Greg Hardy. Make it 5 for 5. All right, let's go on to what should really be a really good featherweight fight between two top 10 dudes. Calvin Cutter. I think it's Calvin, right? Am I losing my mind?
Yep. Gives a shit.
Yeah. Who cares? Little Heathen Stevens is in this fight.
It's definitely not Cutter, though. I think it's.
I feel like Stevens is a Lance favorite guy too.
Oh, he's definitely in the top 10. I mean, you got to look at it. Big power, dumb as all can be, criminal,
and
hits
big
people for
forearm.
no reason in public.
He was going to fight that night, Lance. He was going to fight that night.
And if it wasn't for the damn Popo bringing the man down, we would have seen Little Heathen fight that night. So
that's the night I stopped believing in Dana. He said he was going to get Jeremy Stevens out of jail, and he was going to fight.
That was the night that did it, huh?
I thought it was the night he hired Eddie Bravo.
Nope, couldn't believe him after that, Jay. He promised to get a man out of jail and have him fight on the same night. Couldn't come through.
Little Heathen's close, like active top 5 Lance guy.
He's in the top 10 for sure.
I mean, just hits hard. Man, woman, cage, no cage. You're getting fucking hit. Deal with that shit.
He doesn't make boring fights, that's for sure.
No, he's a little fucking heathen. Kidding me?
Been around forever.
He's gonna kill. I know. Like I've been doing that rewatch of old fights and shit, and like 20-year-old Jeremy Stevens just murdering dudes and then running headfirst into the cage and almost giving himself a concussion. Like that's what I'm fucking here for.
I think he fought like a prime man. Like really gave him a run for his money, if I remember correctly.
Who?
I think he fought a prime Anthony Pettis early.
Yeah, when he first came over from the WEC.
Yeah, it was a pretty competitive fight.
He lost to Clay Guida first in a bullshit fight, but whatever.
Well, early on, he straight fucking murked Rafael dos Anjos.
Oh,
like
yeah,
his family still feels
that's still one. That to me is still better than like the Ngannou Overeem KO.
That was brutal. I mean, there's a lot of heathen knockout. That fucking Bermudez knee that he hit.
That's one of the best knees ever. Still to this day.
Fan of the show, Dennis Bermudez. I interviewed him once.
He
Way
would
back
Okay.
when.
He fits our.
I'm
profile.
sure he remembers it fondly.
Yeah.
Compared to being on, the bald guy from Georgia and the Nazi from Canada. I mean, their shows, like, come on now.
Mhm.
Anyway, Wes, talk to us about Cutter and Stevens.
Cater.
Yeah, this is
Cutter. Goddamn jersey,
this
man.
is the kind of stuff I'm here for. This is one of my favorite fights on this entire card. I know Big Dip Lance over there putting in a fucking big pack over there. I mean, I love me some Stevens too. Bet him a lot. I think Calvin Cater he's just at a different level of striking than Stevens is. I think Stevens' power is starting to. It's not translated like it once did. And just the speed difference here, the hand speed difference is going to be incredible. Could Steven catch him with something? Yeah, I mean, Burgos put it on Cater quite a bit. I just think that dude's improving leaps and bounds. He's got some of the best boxing in the entire division already. Like I said, hand speed is just the difference in hand speed is going to be incredible in this fight. And I like Cater here, man. I know this is the spot to where when you want to bet Jeremy Stevens, you're hoping to get 2-1 on him. You're getting it. So I know Lance is going to be deep on it. Sean too, probably, but I think it's going to be a good, exciting fight. But I just think Cater's he's a different level of fighter than Stevens at this point. I think that guy's got maybe not title aspirations, but I think he's right there behind the top few guys. Gave a good showing of himself against who many of us consider a title contender in Zabit. So, I lean Cater here. Going to be a fun fight. One of my favorite fights on the entire card.
All right. Nishon.
I think this is going to be a close fight. Neither of these guys are going to go for takedowns. And for the most part, when Jeremy Stevens doesn't have to worry about takedowns, he's in a straight striking fight. He's usually in close matches. The only one that wasn't was Makano when he just jabbed and ran. And I don't think that's Cater. Cater's not a guy that's just going to jab and run. So I think this is going to be a firefight. And in firefights, when I'm getting over plus 200 on Jeremy Stevens, I like those odds.
It's when you want to bet him. It is when you want to bet him.
Cater also does not check leg kicks whatsoever, and I think that is going to really hurt him in this fight. I think Stevens is going to kick him in a lot and early, and that's really going to slow down Cater and make Stevens be able to catch him. So I got 2 units on Jeremy Stevens at plus 218, and I took him by TKO at plus 450 for half a unit.
All right. Lance.
My computer laptop is dying, so I'm going to talk and walk. I really like Jeremy Stevens here. I'm biased, obviously, but I think Sean made a good point. It's when guys who will stand and trade with him. It's when there's a threat of the takedown that he loses those fights, and that's not in this one. And he just hits so hard, and he finds so many different ways to finish. And like when you look at his list of finishes, he might have the best, most violent finishes list of anyone ever. Like when you go through that list and look at all the guys, like the Hani Jason knockout going back, the Dos Anjos knockout, the Bermudez knockout, the Josh Emmett knockout, the who was that little Korean fella that died?
Doo-Ho Choi.
He's dead. He killed him.
It forced him to go to the military.
This dude just has it's out of this world power. And when he gets taken down, that's when he gets beat up. When you lay in him, then he gets up and he swings violently and he gets all reckless. But a guy who's going to stand in the cage with him and not go for takedowns is going to get knocked out by Jeremy Stevens. And I could be wrong, but I have to believe that. And I think in a fight like this where they're going to stay in the cage and they're going to swing and there's going to be on the feet, I have to take Jeremy Stevens that line.
I think Cater's definitely going to work some clinch, not necessarily takedowns, but he's going to be the bigger guy. He's going to work some clinches in this.
You trying to get kneed in the face?
He likes that.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, Brad, some thoughts on this one?
Yeah, ever since Stevens dropped down to featherweight, he's sort of been that guy that's like top 10 gatekeeper dudes, and if you're in the top half of the top 10, you're going to beat him, and if you're anything worse than that, you're going to lose. And Qatar is right on that line. I really don't know where he stands. I think he's probably a little better than Stevens at this point and can outpoint him, but mostly I think this is just going to be like a real competitive fight, and if I bet anything here, it's going to be fight goes the distance or over 2.5. I guess over 2.5 because that's a little better.
Brad, my dude.
What?
Yeah, what?
The over?
Yeah.
Lance was anti-over. Remember when he would never bet a fight or agree on the consensus for an over bet? That was good
Never.
times.
Correct.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
I mean,
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure if my calculations are correct, we would have won all of those as well.
Yeah. Yep.
that has nothing to do with anything.
it has zero to do with it. I got Cutter B-, Stevens B. I think this is probably one of the best fights on the card on paper. I think it should be a slugfest. I think both guys are going to be able to get off strikes. I just think Stevens is durable. I think he also hits harder than Cutter. So we're going to see. I mean, the price to me is very confusing. I understand that Cutter is a little younger, obviously less worn than Stevens is. I mean, there's no doubt that Stevens has been through a lot in his career, but he wears it pretty good and hasn't shown really signs of. Yeah, he's
seen some shit.
He's seen hard times for sure. I'm going to lean towards Stevens as well. I grade him a little bit better. I think he's been through bigger and better fighters than Cutter is, but it's really competitive. And we're going to see. We're really going to see. So, good one. The price on Stevens is juicy enough to take a shot on. All right. Nagano, the Hog. We saw Lance's Nagano before. Not big enough, dude. Not big enough. Taking on
Not even close.
this dude's biggest fight by far, Jair Rosenstruck. Oof. This is a heck of a way to be introduced to the hierarchy of the sport. All right, Wes, take us through your fascination with Nagano and why he's winning by knockout.
Well, I mean, first with Rosenstruck, this is just like when you just push a guy way, way too fast. I mean, I think we all like the guy. Think he could be a really good heavyweight, but I mean, we just watched him against Reem and struggle badly, and he caught the walk-off. Props to him. I won money, saved me a bunch of money, cost our boy Sean, went in deep like he said he would never do but he did. But I mean, he was right though. You were right on the money on that fight. I mean, the dude caught a walk-off and just mangled fucking Reem's lip like Jesus. It was 10 times worse than Robbie's was against Rory. But man, come on, dude. We all saw that fight. This is way too much too soon. Like Ngannou is fucking for real. I mean, that guy's just a champ in waiting. He will have that belt. And I just hate to see that they rushed Rosenstruck in this fight. He talked himself into a fight, Hog accepted, and I think he's gonna lay the pipe. So Hog's gonna be in some parlays for me, and I got him by KO as well. I believe it like minus 125 or minus 130, something right in there. So yeah, Hog on that. I actually think this is gonna be a fairly easy win for him. He's gonna knock Rosenstruck out. It's gonna be bad.
All right, Sean, you on the same train?
Yeah, I like the Hog in here in this fight. Pretty salty. When this fight was announced, I got Hog minus 162 at my sketchy Russian book.
Crazy.
But of course, that had to get canceled with all the bullshit that's happening. So then obviously scaled back my bet a bit just because it's heavyweights and you know the deal. Yeah, I mean, I was big on Overeem in that fight. I think I read it pretty on point. There was always that chance, and you just had to wait till 5 seconds to crush my dreams. So I think that's not going to be anything like this fight. I think Hog is going to be confident. He's going to be throwing strikes, and when he lands, guys go down. It's pretty simple. Rosenstruck does have a pretty awesome kickboxing record, and he seems to be pretty good. But this is kind of a different level when it comes to the UFC. So it's just a small 1 unit play. I put him with our buddy the woman beater Hardy, and I got plus
Francis, future TV star,
plus 116 for a unit.
Fucking most dangerous game, baby. Email edition.
Hardy riding around in a fucking
jeep. You want to be a UFC fighter?
Shit.
Oh.
Talk to us, Lance.
So now they're getting their cast for their next Tough Women's season.
That you get into the house fight. If you make it
last
Hardy's
longer
Island,
than 30 seconds.
You don't even have to fight. It's if you last 24 hours. Greg Hardy just roaming around Fight Island with no cops.
You survive Hardy's Fight Island, you get right into the house.
Dude, this is gold. I'm gonna call Uncle Dana. Like I think this is pretty good.
He did say now Tuff's coming back. He said Tuff's coming back.
I'll believe it when I see you.
Yeah, let's see.
I think I would watch it if it was Colby Usman just for the awkwardness. I think I'd just watch part of that because they were talking about Colby versus Usman as a possibility, which would be funny.
They need to make like a crossover between Tough and like Temptation Island with Fight Island.
Oh God!
Tell me you wouldn't watch that shit.
Yeah,
so bad. I like Ngannou a lot here. Obviously, I thought, the Overeem fight. I wasn't overly impressed. I think Overeem won almost all that fight up until that punch. Which, don't get me wrong, great punch, big power there. But I just don't think he's at this level. I think this is a guy who's going to beat crappy heavyweights, and he's going to look really, really good at it. But when he takes a step up, I don't think he's going to be there. And I think even with Overeem, I thought he was exposed for a lot of that fight versus an aging Overeem. And I think Ngannou at this point is way, way better than Overeem, obviously. And that power's there. And I think the only worry for Ngannou is if he doesn't throw enough or gets a little, we saw in the Derek Lewis fight. But I think that was kind of a one-off thing. I think Ngannou is going to come out. I think he's going to be aggressive. And I think he's going to get a big early knockout in this one.
It's also never been knocked out. But yeah,
Ngannou's like confidence is completely different than after that loss, and then to Derek Lewess.
Rosenstruck got taken down twice by Baby Diaper, and
Albini.
I bet you Hogg could take him down. I know Overeem got him down twice, but he's so tentative on the feet.
Why would he need to?
Because he could smash him on the ground if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could if he wanted to. Brad,
that's what he wants. Winner gets Derek Lewis.
I don't see him getting a takedown down here or going for a takedown here. But actually, Overeem was one of the few MMA bets I made last year, and it looked great for 24 minutes and change. And and then so I haven't seen much exposure from Rosenstruck other than getting taken down a couple times by Albini and losing most of the fight to Overeem. So I don't think he does well against Ngannou. The Hog.
Understandable. Hog A+, Rosenstruck C. Big difference in skill and gap. I mean, Rosenstruck does come from a kickboxing background, Suriname-based fighter, I believe. So, a lot of history, pedigree there with kickboxing. He's dangerous. Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, the Sponge Meister. Yeah, for sure. That's certainly one of them. But yeah, he's beaten a bunch of fairly scrubby guys. I mean, other than the Reem fight, which he had no business winning and kind of luck boxed his way to getting the win. One thing about Ngannou, he's never been knocked out. He keeps distance extremely well. He's long, super athletic, doesn't get hit a lot. That's the truth. So Rosenstruck really going to land and knock out Ngannou? Seems really unlikely that that's going to happen. Ngannou way more dangerous. He's also shown in the past that he can be calculated. He doesn't need to land the big strike early. We've seen it how many times against, he's fought blades. We've seen different types of fights from Ngannou. 3 rounds really is not an issue, I feel, in a striking contest for Ngannou. Maybe it would be if he was being taken down repeatedly, but that's not the case.
That ain't happening.
That's not happening, not here. So Ngannou wins. I mean, there's really no business for him losing. Let's be honest. Let's move on. Co-main event, title fight, Cejudo and the ghost of Dominic Cruz. It's a ghost, right? Can't be real.
Born again.
No, he always comes back.
Yep.
See Messiah?
Ask Mizugaki about that ghost.
I think Mizugaki and Cejudo are a little bit different.
That's fair.
No,
One's got a gold medal, one doesn't.
One's Henry of the judo, and the other one's Japanese, so they're practically the same.
One's taller than 5 feet and doesn't have to stand on a fucking box to do an interview.
That's true.
Yeah, but he's facing other guys that has to stand on a box when they go on a date. So go figure. All right, take us through title fight number one.
Before one of the best things I've ever seen is that Cejudo picture where he's in his house and he's leaning on his pool table and shit. It's like you look at it second and you realize like this motherfucker's got a fucking custom like mini man table.
You have a short pool table?
Yeah, it's
He's got one of those, the little baby cue sticks. Yeah.
It's not, but it's like a full size pool table. It's nice.
Just lowered.
It's just like tiny. It's on the ground. It's got like little baby.
I bet he wrecked shop on that too. People come up and he hustles the shit out of them.
Dudes come in and gotta bend over and shit, right? So who don't just running around the table with his little legs just popping.
Guys playing on their knees.
All right. Yeah. So into this fight, I actually think that to me it comes into play a little bit the size here, but man, everything's gonna come down to how Dom shows up. I mean, it's hard to tell. I guess the dude is gonna make it. He hasn't got to the cage yet, so let's let him make it to the cage. But it seems like he's healthy enough, man. But just a long layoff. You never know, man. I just feel at the price for me here. I'm not completely sold on Cejudo at 135. I still just think he's a really, really small guy at 135. Moraes was giving him all kinds of trouble until he just completely gassed out. And then, Cejudo did, he finished him nicely. I think Cejudo's got all kinds of skills. There's no doubt about that. I think he's really good down at 125, and there's just question marks up at this weight against certain guys. If Cruz is, I don't know, 80%, 90% of himself, he can stick and move here, man. Absolutely can stick and move and land those jabs on Cejudo all day long. He's not going to gas like Moraes did. We know the kind of gas tank that Dominic Cruz has. At this price, man, at almost 2-1, you're absolutely. I'm taking that shot here. So, give me a little bit of Dom Cruz. If he's Casper the Ghost, then so be it. I'll take my loss. I think if he's just like I said, 80-90% of Dominic Cruz, he can point his way to a decision here against a midget.
There's Sean.
Yeah, I like Cruz too. It's questionable about Cejudo's wins. Like, I mean, obviously he was close with DJ. I thought he lost that fight.
He didn't win that fight.
He got like an emaciated TJ Dillashaw, which, I mean, fair enough. He clipped him on the ear and finished up. And then he just waited for Moraes to tire. Dominic Cruz is not going to do that. What Moraes was doing in that fight was just throwing back. That's what his defense. Cruz is going to get out of the way, and I think it's going to be a lot tougher for Cejudo to land, and he might even get tired from swinging and missing because Cruz has some of the best defense in MMA. So, of course, this is all relying on him being somewhat close to what he was, but like Wes said, if he's 80-90% of what he was, I think that movement on the feet, that jab and run kind of offense will do him wonders here. So I took him for a unit at plus 210 and him by decision at plus 325 for half a unit.
Lance, provide us some dissent.
Yeah,
you will.
Yeah, so the long layoff he had before he came back to fight Mizugaki was actually a shorter layoff that he is coming into this fight. And I think it's a lot easier to come back from this extended layoff and everything he's went through at 28 years old versus 34 years old. That is a big difference. And everyone keeps talking about he came back. We saw the Mizugaki fight. He came back strong, blah, blah, blah. That was at 28. That is a huge difference. He is older now. And yes, he was really fast, and he was the fastest guy when he was 28 years old. At that age, 30 years, like even 30 years old. But this is 4 years later from that last fight, and he hasn't won a fight in 4 years. Cejudo is in his prime right now. Their wrestling is not even close. Cruz always had that wrestling to fall back on where he can take people down. This is not even. They're not even in the universe in terms of wrestling.
Cejudo doesn't wrestle.
Cejudo's not going to be able to keep him down, even if he gets him down. And Dom's got good takedowns, so I can see him taking down Cejudo, even though he doesn't hold him down.
Dom can't take down Cejudo. Now, if Cejudo doesn't choose to take him down, that's one thing. He can if he wants. But Cruz is not going to be able to take Cejudo down. He just won't. There's
I can agree with that
shit. And Cejudo is one of the greatest wrestlers to ever fight in the UFC, and he is in his prime. And I don't think Dom's speed like he had it 4 years ago is still going to be there. He's an old ass man now. We see what happens when guys get middle of their career, a lot of
especially
injuries.
in this division.
But let me say that with Dom, I don't think it's necessarily just speed with him. It's how he uses angles and how he moves out of the pocket and in and out of the pocket. I don't think it's pure speed with him. It's technique and footwork, and that is different than speed. So I agree with you at 34. It's definitely different. He's not going to be the same guy, but I think he's a very cerebral fighter when it comes to technique inside the cage, and he's gonna have to have it here for sure.
And he's a smart fighter, but it comes down to it. He's facing a champion, Olympic gold medal wrestler in his prime.
DJ took him down,
and I think, DJ's DJ. I don't get that dude. But I just think I don't think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be a complete beatdown. Honestly, I think Cejudo is. I think he has more power on the feet. I don't know how the speed's going to look. I think in prime Cruz will be faster, but I think it's the wrestling. I think it's everything else. And I think Cejudo absolutely smashes him. And I think the worst thing that Cruz could do is take a fight like this after a 3.5-year layoff without a camp, without an actual camp, without sparring, without going through the normal things a fighter goes through. He's going to be affected more than anyone else because he has not had a fight camp in 3.5 years. So I don't see how he comes into this fight how he used to be.
Brad, see Saturday. Oh, Brad muted himself.
And
what an idiot.
It was going to happen at some point.
He's a rat shit eater.
I think the thing with Cruz is that if he wasn't, maybe not 100%, but if he wasn't healthy, he wouldn't be in this fight. He's never actually showed up to the fight not being healthy. So that healthy
He's
just
35,
depends on what it looks like at this age as opposed to what Lance was talking about. I think he's going to be healthy. It's just how much of that peak did he retain? Because this is a guy that's already beaten the two best flyweights of all time, and now he's facing like the only guy who can really jump into the equation with those guys, and I don't really think it's close. So for him, he's used to fighting these smaller guys. He's trained for it a bunch of times before, and obviously Cejudo's different than the guys he's fought in the past, but he can do a lot of the same things in terms of, maybe getting into the clinch and using his size a little bit and using his length and reach and movement to keep the guy on the outside. So I definitely see a path to victory for Cruz, but I struggle to bet it just because how diminished is he going to be from the guy that did it to a bunch of great flyweights already.
Cejudo A+, Dominic Cruz A. What we knew of Dominic Cruz at that time was an A. He doesn't have any power. That's a big thing. I mean, he's not hurting Cejudo. The way he wins is by volume, right? Like he out volumes Cejudo over 5 rounds. That's really the only way he wins. I mean, Cejudo can certainly secure takedowns potentially. I think that's a possibility, at least a couple.
Cruz is a great wrestler too, and
he is.
Like there's weight classes for reasons.
He's not laying on Cejudo at times. I think that's fair. Cejudo hits harder. That's a big factor. I think he could land the more meaningful punches. And I mean, the thing with Dominic is, again, it's a long time. Again, I mean, yeah, he came back and fought Mizugaki on long notice. I guess Lance is gone again.
Yeah,
whatever. He'll be back. But I'll take the harder puncher, the guy who's on a heck of a roll. Really, really impressive role. I mean, you can try to claim that he didn't beat Dominic or Demetrius Johnson. Either way, he's the only guy who's ever really been toe-to-toe with Demetrius in years and years and years at a minimum. He knocked out Marlon Moraes. He knocked out TJ Dillashaw. There's a lot of wins there. I'll side with momentum and confidence in Cejudo and the younger guy. I think that's important. Let's move on. Main event. Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje. The fight that I proclaimed since Justin Gaethje signed with the UFC is the most exciting fight you can make in mixed martial arts today. Here we go, Saturday night. Wes, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably only one way to get over like missing out on Ferg and Khabib again.
It's a better fight than that. Who cares?
See, I told you. Jay has turned on Khabib.
That's how you get up.
I know.
Jay's absolutely turned on Khabib. Oh my goodness.
It just the only difference is that's the fight against the two best guys, and the one guy I personally think that the only guy that could give Khabib some problems is Tony, but that's for another day. This fight is just insane, man. Look, I really like both of these. I really like both of these guys. I just, man, you're killing me, Tom.
What are you thinking about?
Throwing up those forearms.
The only guy that could fucking give Khabib a fucking Dubronx strokes Khabib dead. He never wakes up.
I mean, Paul Felder just beat the crap out of Dubronx.
First of all, I don't know who that is.
Seriously.
That was like 9 years ago, and we're not talking about that.
Isn't that the White Dragon?
At this,
it is. There's got to be one.
At this point, though, I'd love some Dubronx against Khabib like that. You look at that matchup a whole lot differently now than you would a couple years ago. That's for fucking
Dubronx lights him up on the feet, does what he wants.
It doesn't.
Man.
That's another story.
Is
He'll tear his esophagus before the fight starts.
Better than Khabib's at this point?
Absolutely.
I think there's a case to be made for sure.
Absolutely.
Dubronx, whatever he feels like. Whatever he feels like that day, it happened to Khabib. Because he's good mood or not.
One guy left in MMA that doesn't care if you take him down.
Yeah, please.
He's not the only guy. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, come in the guard, bitch. Maya doesn't finish people. Though.
Maya wants to be on top of you. Though.
Ryan Hall doesn't. He wants people to take him down too.
That's not a fighter. We're talking about fighters. You want to talk about women's MMA, Jay? Go to Invicta, right?
Rihanna Hall.
Derek Lewis doesn't care if people take him down either because he's already gassed the fuck out.
He needs a break. That's smart, dude. That's a smart fighter. Right
where you can rest.
Yeah.
Take me to bed, baby. Yeah.
He can lay there for 3 minutes, explode for 4 seconds to stand up, and he's got more energy than started by.
It's every Saturday night in the Lewis house.
He's the easiest dude to read ever.
Easiest, yeah.
It's funny you always use money on Derek Lewis. It's so easy to predict his fights. Is this guy top 10? Yes, he's gonna lose. Is he not? No, he's gonna win. That's literally the Derek Lewis story.
Or just bet him to win a round 3 or the last round.
The dude, he's literally losing every second of every fucking round.
It doesn't matter.
It's like,
more
money gone. I'll lose more money.
It's like when Brian Ortega did shit. That doesn't fucking matter. You
know what's gonna happen
in round 3. You're not a top 10 fighter. You're going to sleep. It's a wrap. It's a ball game. Do Bronx too.
So what are your thoughts?
We get on this topic. We've got Ferguson Gaethje, and we ended up talking about Derek.
We're going into Derek Lewis again.
Go, Wes. What you got? Let's go.
Yeah, great. This is an absolute fucking just crazy fight, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could see arguments for both of these guys here. I think they both at this point have semi-suspect chins. Gaethje, but Gaethje probably has some of the best recovery though that I've ever seen on any fighter that I've ever watched. Ferguson is kind of the same with his recovery. The streak he's been on, man, it's hard to pick a side. I'm kind of leaning just the dog in this spot, man. The guy with the plus number. I just think we know what Gaethje's going to do, man. And I think if he does catch Ferg with something, we know what kind of finisher he is. I think the leg kicks could play a very big part in this fight to stop Ferguson's crazy movements and all the crazy shit that he does. Kick him in the fucking legs, and Gaethje's probably going to do that and do a whole lot of that. And I think that changes the fight. Then Gaethje's going to throw bombs, man. We don't see too much of Gaethje's wrestling, but it's there if he wants it. We know how good of a wrestler he is. All that could be nil because Ferguson could land some 360 fucking spinning wheel kick elbow on him and in the
whatever
fight.
That is, I want to see it.
Ferguson would do it if it was some fucking move. But yeah, I'm gonna go Gaethje here. I'm gonna take a little bit of the dog money. Would I be shocked that Ferguson pulled something off? Absolutely not. Both of these guys are just fucking insane fighters. And yeah, awesome fight card. Give me the dog.
All right, new Sean.
I think Gaethje has about 15 minutes to finish Tony and win this fight because after that, his cardio is gone and
Ferguson's
just gonna smash him and possibly choke him out. So I do think Gaethje has a pretty good chance in those first 15 minutes. We've seen Tony get hit and drop. Pettis dropped him. Obviously the Venata fight, he's got dropped. He's there to be hit. Gaethje and his leg kicks are definitely going to reduce the movement that Ferguson has. Ferguson's getting older and he's taking more damage. Gaethje, he's been just knocking fools out, so he's not taking the damage after those wars with Eddie Alvarez and Poirier. He's able to rest his brain, knocking out Vic and all that shit. So that's good for that. Yeah, I just like Gaethje here. I think he has the offense, he has the power to put away Ferguson, and he's a finisher. When he gets you hurt, he usually finishes you. So I like him here. I got 2 units on him at plus 151. I also took him round 2 at plus 1,000 for a quarter unit, and I also laid it tout style. Fight does not start round 5 at minus 250 to win 2 units.
Are you sure it's to win?
Damn. That's not how you do it, dude.
Don't ever admit to doing it that way.
You got to make it uneven numbers. It doesn't make sense.
2.72 to win 1.84. Okay.
There you
I'm
go.
trying to get this change.
y'all got another roll of pennies in that right now?
Yeah, I love rolls. All right, Lance. We changed the order, but it's fine. You can go first. Again.
You know what? This is the exact order.
I know, but
your
your picture's in a different place, so it's fine.
Because he had to leave because his internet fucked up again.
Yeah.
Tornadoes and windstorms will
No,
do that.
I
Neighbors trying to blow up the building and shit.
Nashville's now Tornado Alley.
This man shit is
Dude,
like
so many
Man's going to see
tornadoes.
Helen Hunt out his window and Bill Paxton or whatever.
Dude, so many tornadoes. This fight's great for one. Before I jump in, Dubrox chokes both these motherfuckers out in a round. We know that, so we'll move on to this fight. I think Tony's 36. Tony is 36 years old.
He's 37.
The last time he fought a guy that, not according to Sherdog, but maybe Sherdog's stupid.
Right. Nice.
No,
He's 36.
You're right.
And when you look at it, like, he hasn't fought anyone, really worth a shit in 2.5 years. Cowboy, his last 2 fights, Cowboy and Pettis. That really doesn't do much for me. He's been off for a while. He's coming up on a year off, and that he fought Cowboy in that last fight.
Well, if you're waiting for the Habib fight all these times, and they just
I get it. I'm not saying it's
hurt.
his. Yeah, I'm not saying it's his fault, but regardless, he hasn't fought a top tier competitor in like 3 years, and
Same time Dominic Cruz fought one.
Yeah, basically, Cruz has been out so long. The last card he fought on had Ronda Rousey in the main event. How's that? You like your bet?
That's why I didn't bet it.
Yeah. So I think Ferguson gets in trouble in so many fights over and over and over. He gets in trouble. He does stupid shit. He flops around. He does whatever. He gets hit. I just don't see many dudes getting hit clean by Gaethje and then just getting up. And yes, Ferguson does have recoverability. And Wes, the name you were looking for was Frankie Edgar. for best recoverability. You missed that.
Not
but
anymore.
Well, we're not talking about more. We're saying ever.
Not like Gaethje. Come on, man.
Gaethje just hits, man. He comes at you and he fucking hits. And it's almost good that Gaethje doesn't have cardio to go 5 rounds, because if he did, I don't think it'd be as good. Gaethje knows he's got 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, he knows.
And he does it anyway.
And he just goes at you, and he doesn't give a fuck if he gasses in the 4th round, because he's like, if I get knocked out, great, whatever. And I think Tony's too fucking hittable, man. I think Tony is too hittable, and I think Gaethje hits him, and he goes down. He doesn't get up because he's a fucking 36-year-old man, and I think he's going to get his ass kicked in this fight. So I like Gaethje. I just feel like this is probably also a letdown for Tony Ferguson, not fighting Khabib here, fighting Gaethje, not being the real title fight. Whatever he says, I don't care. Ferguson has been ready for Khabib for a long time, trying to get that fight. This is a letdown. It's different for him. It's not for Gaethje. This is what Gaethje wanted, and I think Gaethje's going to get to him. So I like Gaethje a lot here.
And not sure how much it's going to matter, but can we remember like Tony like cut all the way down like a week and a half ago?
He doesn't care.
2 weight cuts in 2.5 weeks.
I'm not sure it makes a big difference in the grand scheme of things, but that's putting your body at a different thing
and your
than
brain.
what Gaethje's at. Yeah, you literally your brain too. 2 weeks ago,
I don't know if he really did that though.
No, he got on.
He fucking weighed in.
Yes, he fucking did. He said, "I'm doing it." He would have put it on video. Got on a scale, 155 pounds.
You don't know if that scale was
recalibrated. Yeah,
Jay, this is Tony Ferguson we're talking about.
He
absolutely did.
He had the picture in the video of dude. He was sunken in. He did a full
weight. He cut weight.
He was sunken in.
Brad, give me your thoughts. Enough of this. Enough with the scale talk.
I also think that Tony Ferguson is an idiot, and that he cut weight 2 weeks ago. And remember when Gaethje first took this fight, the hesitation was like, oh well, like I don't want to go in with just this tiny little 10 days notice or whatever they're getting. And then he got a little bit more time to train and get his shit together and get that cardio. Like, we know it's never going to be all the way there. It's not going to be 5 rounds. It's just not.
Not the way he fights.
Maybe in the last little couple weeks, he's been able to go from 2 rounds up to 3.5 rounds or something like that, to closer to what he normally has. And if he's got that much time to put some damage on Tony Ferguson, he's going to do it at some point. So the risk is that somehow Ferguson is as inhuman as people seem to claim he is, and enjoys punishment and whatever, all that stupid stuff. And like, nobody likes getting hit. Stop being stupid. You're an idiot. But maybe he can take a little bit more punishment than Gaethje's in shape to dish out right now. And he lasts until the 4th round and gets a stoppage there after Gaethje's just got nothing left in the tank. But that's really the only way I see Ferguson winning this. If it's first 3 rounds, I think you're looking at Gaethje. So bet that man, and then throw Ferguson round 4 in the prop round robin.
There it is.
Why is this not the COVID-19 killer bet of the week?
Because I'm having a talk.
Jay doesn't like him.
Yeah, we don't count you anyway.
Yeah,
so
you're the host,
is the bet of the week. Yeah, this is so this is your 6.2 unit lead pipe lock
to win 10.3
COVID-19 killer of old people lock of the week.
One show, 5 touts. That's gonna be the new
Corona Slammer.
It's definitely efficient to do it that way. Why have an article for every single person, and then tweet them out?
All right, so why is Ferguson going to beat Gaethje, and how's he going to do it, Jay?
Well, I got Ferguson an A+, Gaethje an A. Let's just start it out by saying if Glover Teixeira is the most prepared fighter for COVID conditions, I would say Tony Ferguson's the second fighter. The guy is an absolute maniac. His conditioning is incredible. He's always in shape. I think that's absolutely a factor.
Videos of himself doing weird shit, but he's not always like training like that.
Yeah, he trained by this fight.
You don't know that, Brad.
He trained by this fight by kneeing a tire and trying to tear his ACL.
Brad, you haven't seen the UFC main card in entirety. Like, you've seen 2 over the last 3 years.
Trying to tear his ACL.
And I know that all he does is stupid shit.
Yeah, so how busted is he coming into this fight?
Yeah, there you go.
36 years old.
Those leg kicks by Gaethje are going to fucking destroy that surgically repaired knee.
Second of all, Gaethje's brain is applesauce. We know this already. It's on the verge.
Come
You know
on.
that, Drew.
Yeah, the last person who said that did the fucking CA? Is that what the what it was?
Yeah,
was
yeah. I think he was the C part of that fucking song. Yeah,
Doesn't mean his brain's not applesauce, though.
yeah.
It's been good. He's been resting it for 2 years. He's been knocking fools out in the first round and not getting hit.
You think your brain recovers from that type of
For
stuff?
2 years? Fuck
Yeah, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That man has some of the best recovery we've ever seen in this sport, dude.
He's also fighting smarter
You
now,
think Ferguson has recovery? I think he
Yeah,
recovers
but
extremely well.
I don't think he's fought a killer like Gaethje, though.
And I think he gets hit more. I think he gets hit more.
He hasn't been hit in 2 years.
Yeah.
Fourth point, Gaethje's been in wars too. Don't say like Ferguson's the only one who's been in like slobber knockers.
Not recently,
some of the greatest wars ever.
When
That's why
Gaethje
we love
actually
him.
had to go toe to toe with what we consider like top fighters, like all around top fighters. I guess Poirier would be one now. Alvarez was another. He was eventually exposed. It took a couple rounds, but those guys went toe to toe with him. They worked his body. He got tired. They took over and won fights. Okay, this is true. Ferguson is a guy. Ferguson's volume is incredible. It is. He throws with the same level of volume or more than those guys. He's actually more creative than those fighters. And Ferguson's never been knocked out in his career. Not once. He doesn't have the same vulnerabilities.
If it goes long,
he throws just under 3 less strikes a minute.
Ferguson's got a really good shot if it goes longer.
Uh-oh.
Did Jay just freeze?
I just did that.
Oh, that would have been beautiful.
Your shitty Russian internet glitched out again, Jay.
I'm saying, I blame Optimum, but that's fine. I love Justin Gaethje. I said this again. I've said it since he came over.
Apparently, you don't love him enough.
It's not about love. It's just about the reality. I think that Ferguson is a higher level fighter than me, and has less vulnerabilities. And Ferguson again wins by war of attrition. More variety, lasts longer, comes down the volume. Gaethje slows down. Ferguson takes over, wins in round 4. I like the round 4 play. I think he wins.
Yeah, I know.
I want him to win. Actually, I want Gaethje to win.
The number one fan of the MMA analysis is with you, Jay. He's like this.
I want Gaethje to win. I've been saying that. You don't think I want Gaethje to win? I want Gaethje to fight Habib. Then I don't lose. It's great. Like my 2 favorite guys. I just think Ferguson wins this fight.
Jay, you don't like Habib anymore. Admit it.
Yeah, you don't care about him.
I'm not in love anymore. My infatuation phase is over.
That's right.
Oh man, it's tough times. Either way, it's exciting. Like I said, I've been talking about this fight for years. This is the fight to make. I'm happy that the Habib Ferguson fight didn't happen because I wanted to see this fight because I didn't think we would see it if this didn't happen. So yes, this is gonna be great.
Wow.
But Ferguson's
now you're never gonna see Habib and Ferguson.
Fine by me. Habib retires undefeated and everybody wins.
Habib's already retired. So what's the line on Gaethje versus Dubronx for the title?
Oh fuck.
He'll knock out
Dubronx -4.
Yeah,
minus 450.
He'll knock out Dubronx. He's not spamming for takedowns. He's knocking fools out.
Yeah, Dubronx will take him down. Choke him out.
Jerry just called Lance Jared Kushner. He called Brad Trump Jr. and
no.
This has been Melania.
I'm Ivanka.
Who's
Dr. Burks? We don't got a Dr. Burks.
Oh man.
Who's gonna come out here with the PowerPoint with the numbers that are incorrect?
I'm archiving all this shit for when Gaethje drops bombs on Ferguson Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this ain't no tire, Tony. He's gonna fight back.
No lead pipe that doesn't strike back.
Oh man, this isn't a fucking baseball you're carrying around, Tony. This guy's fucking throwing back.
Well, that was fun, boys. I enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone for who chatted along and listened to the show. That was fun. We should do the live show like this a lot more often.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll do next week.
Holy shit.
We'll do like a double show on Monday, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure out next week because we got cards on Wednesday and Saturday.
Or
we'll just do 2 shows.
We could actually do the card on Wednesday.
Or we just do a live show Wednesday.
And talk about the other fights in between.
We do a breakdown card for both of them, and then a live show for the second one. Boom.
Could do that as well. We'll
Maybe.
figure it out.
What's
We'll
the
figure it out
second
over the
one?
weekend. I'm just pumped that live fights are back. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Let's plan on doing a show Monday of recap and next card.
Wednesday's card. Yeah, that sounds like a winner.
And then we'll do it
At minimum.
Thursday or something.
We'll figure it out.
Sounds good to me. Take us out, Jay.
Well, that does it. Thanks for everybody who joined. As your resident doctor on the staff, that would be me. And I don't know who's Melania, but that was some embarrassing moments for sure.
It's Sean with that hair.
Yeah, yes, got that wave, got that co-op. That's all good. But yeah, 3 days from live fights, live American sports. This is exciting.
Hey, did you guys hear about the Premier Lacrosse League doing their 3-week tournament?
Tournament.
Yeah, baby.
That's not a real thing.
Where's that taking place, Brad?
Future.
Rock.
Sport of the future.
Hell, we got NASCAR back to back. We got two cup races in a week. Wes is all giddy about that. He's got his
I'm
pants
gonna
off
hit so
already.
many winners.
Me and the old ball coach, boy, we're giddy as hell.
Just don't be betting on Kyle Larson. I think that's going to get voided or a loser.
Nah, I think that's a bad bet at this point.
Yeah,
Jeremy just called himself a bigot.
Yep. That's what I read.
Jeremy's just a Trump loving bigot. That's all
He
he
just
is.
missed he missed a comma in there. It was supposed to say I bigot said Tony would win.
Said Tony would win. MAGA. Love always. Trump.
Trump forever.
Jeremy. Yeah.
And then he later specified that he would win bigly because that's
Maja
a phrase Trump would use.
It's all coming
Speaking the
together.
language.
Yep.
Good for him, man.
Oh,
Bigly again. Here he goes. He must have some
Good to
internet
see your
history.
true colors.
Fucking Texas, man.
Jerry.
You can't trust him.
Speaking of
Dude,
which,
fucking
if you haven't
spell
signed
there
up
either.
for Gamble Master
He
Q2,
said West
Oh, yeah.
Calvin.
If you're interested in Gamble Master, connect with Jerry at Super Sartry. You could find him on the Twitters. It's not hard. He's around. Sign up for the new campaign.
He's in our chat right now, losing his damn
Saying
mind.
MAGA. The last 72 comments on the chat are Jeremy.
Yeah, that's a troll right there. We gotta block that guy. He can't be.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
probably.
I've
Yeah,
never
it's
seen him
like
go on a
for
tangent
future.
like
Like a
this
Russian
before.
bot. That's a
Jeez.
Russian bot if I've ever seen one.
Bigly, MAGA, like haha, like it's there's
If that's not Russian bot, I don't know what the fuck it
Dude,
is.
is that not just Texas in a nutshell? Like this is whole chat. Like that's just he's Texas,
Just
man. He's like,
so
man,
stereotypical.
you can't make me wear a mask, man. Fucking freedom.
It's all that
Like, that's
homeschooling they got down there.
Gotta get a couple praise Jesus in there, and we got the full
Did you
fucking game.
see the story about the guy that said it was like a senator or something that said he wasn't going to wear a mask because it ruins God's image of him?
No,
That was
but that's not a
That's
surprise.
That's America to the max right there.
I-
Beautiful.
Well, that's
I
like the
did-
looking people in the eye thing.
I did the quote sheet and I was like, God's not real, dummy.
Yes. There you go.
I
There
had
you go.
to. MAGA. Right, Jeremy? MAGA.
Bigly.
All right.
Take us out, Jay.
We've
Come on.
overstayed our
Maga.
welcome.
Well, we'll be back
Thanks,
next
guys.
week. We'll see if Tony Ferguson gets it done. He will, and
Ooh.
we'll talk about it later. I'm not gonna eat rat shit though. I'm not going on that path. But maybe at one point we'll have a bet on.
So
something.
you're not really confident then, Jay, huh?
Neither are you.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Neither are you.
He's
Until
an
then,
underdog.
enjoy the fights.